Brandies, what's going on? I miss you all so much. I know it's been a while since I've connected with you, but I'm here and we're going to talk about some things today. I want to talk about how a thing decreed shall be established. What are you decreeing? What are you declaring for your life? And the real question to ask yourself is, how much are you willing to put up with? Like, really, how much shit are you willing to put up with? 95 people out of 100 settle for whatever they get, wishing they had more all the way from the cradle to the casket, never understanding that they could actually have had all they wanted. And that goes for you too. Seriously, I'm not just blowing smoke. I really want to stress some things, and there's two books that I want you all to get your hands on. One of them is called The Magic in Your Mind by U.S. Anderson. The Magic in Your Mind. It's completely out of print. It's dealing with some mental powers and things that your average person has no knowledge about. But if you can get your hands on this book, I know they had a couple of copies on Amazon.com, and you may be able to find it some other places, but I know for a fact it's out of print. It's not in any known chain bookstores, but get your hands on this book. And I was a little apprehensive to share it with you all because once you read this book, it will completely confront you, challenge you, change your entire paradigm. It will shift the way you see life and the way you see this universe. I also want you to get your hands on his other book, 3 Magic Words, again, by U.S. Anderson. Or you can actually find this book more places because I think they've brought it back into print. But the book is called 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson, U.S. Anderson, or U.S. Anderson. Get your hands on these two books. You're going to learn some things that are going to begin to change your life. Again, for those mentees who are new on board, I'm a big proponent of reading, educating yourself outside of what you may or may not have learned in school. Right now, I have about 13 books that I'm suggesting you all read, and it's so crucial, it's so important that you guys get your hands on this book. I'm telling you, get your hands on all of these books. If you cannot get your hands on these books, get the audio books. Play them in your car. Play them in your devices, on your phones, before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, when you're showering, when you're cleaning, when you're preparing your food, when you're bored, whatever you're doing. Get The Art of Mastery, Robert Greene. Purple Cow, Transform Your Business by Being Remarkable, Seth Godin. The Intelligent Investor, Benjamin Graham. The Essays of Warren Buffett, Lessons for Corporate America, Warren Buffett. Sam Walton, Made in America. It's a reason why I'm telling you guys to read these books. I promise I'm not trying to turn you into a capitalist, but in order to be in this system right now, on this plane of existence, we have to understand what's going on and the types of games that are being played and the type of paradigm that is being fed to the masses. You have to understand what's going on. And to understand what's going on, you go exactly to the pen of the architects who have designed these things and who have major financial control and power over just about every aspect of our lives, politically, financially, in the media, what you see, what you're being shown, why is it that you're being shown what you're being shown. Some other books on the list: The $100 Startup, Reinvent the Way You Make a Living, Do What You Love and Create a New Future. Titan, The Life of John D. Rockefeller. You have to understand the Rockefeller story to understand everything, every major corporation that you're spending money on that has such an influence and an impact over your life. You have to understand that. Linchpin, Are You Indispensable? By Seth Godin. Pour Your Heart Into It, How Starbucks Built a Company One Cup at a Time by Howard Schultz. The Millionaire Fastlane, Crack the Code to Wealth and Live Rich for a Lifetime by MJ DeMarco. The Art of Nonconformity, Set Your Own Rules, Live the Life You Want and Change the World. Invest Like a Billionaire. If you are not watching The Best Investor in the World, who are you watching? Yes, that's the name of the book, by Warren Buffett. Again, there's a reason why I'm telling you guys to read this book. You don't have to read these books. You don't have to do anything. But if you really want your life to begin to change, you have to read the books that other people are not reading. Read the books that your competitors are not reading. Get your hands on the material of the greats, the people who changed their lives, who didn't wait till they were 50, 60, 70 to change their lives. They changed their lives in their 20s, in their 30s, and they were doing things that others were not willing to do. So until you're willing to do what others are not willing to do, you won't have what others won't have. But the minute you start reading the books that, you know, your counterparts are not reading, being in the places they're not being, educating yourself and understanding the dynamics of things that the average Joe does not know, your life will catapult into new dimensions, I promise you. And that's why I'm here. So, you know, and understanding how when we bring ourselves together, we're even stronger than just one of us. Or if you're just talking to a friend of yours, or your girlfriend, or your dude, or your husband, or your wife, or your kids, or your co-workers and colleagues and fellow students in classes, or what have you. You have all the mental tools necessary to attract the thoughts you're surrounded by, to create the consciousness that you must create in order for you to have the wealth, the health, the happiness, the abundance of every wondrous thing, the harmony, the love, money, whatever it is you choose to have. Lack and limitation, those things can only exist when we make room for them in our minds, when we talk about them, when we stew over them, when we affirm them, when we meditate on them, when we get worked up by their presence, real or unreal. Okay, but prosperity and a prosperity consciousness knows no lack and no limitation. That's why some people, they never go broke. Some people, they never get sick. Some people, they don't have the problems that others have. Ever. Never. You know, I hear people say, well, you know, things can't always be perfect. There's always going to be rainy days and bad times. That doesn't have to be your reality. But if you accept that and you believe that, then that will be your reality. So again, it comes back to ask yourself, how much shit are you willing to put up with? And understand that what happens to anyone and what's showing up in anyone's life has everything to do with who they are, what they're affirming, and what they're visualizing. And that's why you have to be very, very careful about what you set your sights on 24/7. What are you thinking about? What are you hearing? Are you hearing programming, either by radio station, television, internet commercials, what have you? What are you listening to? What are you seeing in your mind? What's constantly plaguing you in front of your eyes? The billboards you're looking at, the television programming you're watching or not watching. Because these are creating images. And if you don't like what you're seeing in your life, you have to actively change the images that you are harboring in your mind. Your entire life is governed by images. Your entire life is governed by images. So you should be acutely aware of the images you're building in your own mind. And you should also be aware of the necessity of building these images, which will produce the results that will move you onward and upward toward your desired destination. Not understand where you are right now is based on all the things you thought about last year. 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That's why you're here now. The books that you read or didn't read, the people who you listened to and spoke to, what you received in your consciousness, what you received on your subconscious, on the subconscious level of your mind, what did you allow to sink in and absorb, is where you are now. And the minute you begin to start changing that, turning that around, changing what you are affirming, what are you saying to yourself, and the images you're keeping in your mind, that's going to change tomorrow. That's going to change next year, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's the whole purpose of the business plan. That's the whole purpose of the goals. That's the whole purpose. Not because I want to give you guys busy work. We don't have time for busy work. We have to improve. Otherwise, we'll be unhappy and continue to be unhappy. So the only way that I know of to beat unhappiness, confusion, or depression, or just being in the same lackluster hamster wheel existence, is to constantly improve and to constantly move forward, to keep moving forward, and to change the images and the thoughts that you think, what you see in your mind, and to change how you're talking to yourself. What are you saying to yourself? A thing decreed shall be established. Whatever you decree, whatever you affirm, will be established. And I spoke, I don't know if this was in one of the last emails I sent or one of the emails I sent before that, how I talked about someone was asking me about they were just unhappy, one of you, and we have our days, but if you're constantly unhappy, you're constantly feeling like you're lost and confused and, upside down, you can't get a good job, or you're unemployed, or you're employed, but you hate it, you hate the people you work with, you're just not happy generally, I suggested to make yourself a audio, record your voice. And before you record your voice, type out or write out. I suggest writing it out by hand. If you think it, ink it. Write it out. The physical act of writing it out does something to you subconsciously. So physically write it out in a notebook or on a piece of paper, and write out your declarations to yourself, your affirmations, what you want to happen and see, and the things that you want to change. But write it in a present tense like it's already happening right now. Because here's the thing. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the past, the present, and the future. Those are human constructs. That's something that somebody handed to you and said, well, there's these different sets of time. There's past, no. The universe doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't understand. There is no such thing as time. There aren't these separate little brackets. Just like if you look on a map, you see these little lines separating cities and provinces and countries and what have you. But if you drive, you don't see those lines. That's something that's man-made. It's a construct that was created. Same thing with time. Same thing with your subconscious mind. It doesn't see those lines of demarcation. So whatever you speak consistently and constantly, repetitively, in the present tense, it's already happening now. Whatever you declare, whatever you decree, is creating your reality going forward. And you will begin to see changes. For some of you, it'll be slow and coming. It may take a couple of days. It may take a couple of weeks. For others, it'll be drastic and it will be dramatic. I promise you this. And just record your voice. And at night before you go to bed, right before you hit the pillow, when you're still in that little sleepy state kind of, listen to it. And you're feeding your subconscious mind. And now you are constructively, actively implanting images that you want. You're basically programming yourself. You're hypnotizing yourself. But we've all been hypnotized for the duration of our lives. We just weren't actively doing it. We were allowing Scandal to do it, and the Super Bowl, and the World Cup, and all these things to program us. But now we have to actively program ourselves. That's the difference between those who are making their life a living masterpiece, a dream come true, and those whose lives are a fucking wreck. Listen to those people, how they talk and what they sit up and implant in their mind. So we're going to change that. Decree, speak life into your own reality, into your subconscious, into your mind, into the cells and the molecules of your body. If you're sick, if somebody told you that you have a disease, speak life and healing into the cells and the molecular subatomic particles of your body, that you are healed. Every fabric of your being is healed. Decree that. Repeat it and keep it on repeat and keep it on repeat and keep it on repeat until you see, hear, and feel a shift. Because there's power in your mouth. And so for the next 30 days, I challenge you, I dare you, for the next 30 days, make declarations and decree whatever it is that you want in your life. And this is not something you don't have to show me or anyone else. Just do it for yourself. Decree that the failures of your past are no longer hindering the promises of your future. Decree that the pressures of your past are forming the treasures of your future. You're no longer the person you used to be. Decree that abundance and all these wonderful things are chasing you. Dollars want you. You're a money magnet. If you're looking for that special one, love of your life, decree it. Create them and watch them walk into your life. I'm telling you, don't play with it. If you think I'm joking, I challenge you. Decree that your body is healthy and strong. Your mind is alert. You're disciplined. You're receptive to all the opportunities to make money, to travel the world, to build your own empire. Decree that you're a conqueror, that you're a victor, that you're a CEO, a CFO, that you make decrees and declarations over your children, over your family, over your closest friends. Send out love and cloak your home in love and cloak your office or your workplace or wherever it is that you spend the most time. Cloak it in love and success. And whatever it is that you want, you know what I mean? And do this for 30 days. Decree that you're rapidly coming out of debt. I don't care what creditors are saying when they're calling. I don't care when you look at all the student loans you owe or car notes you owe. Start to decree you're rapidly coming out of debt. I am rapidly coming out of debt. I am rapidly out of debt. And changing the habits that put me there. Decree that you're abounding with love. You're an encourager and you're a mentor for others. And guess what's going to happen? That's going to become your reality. And don't be surprised when all these wonderful, awesome people start coming in your life. Beautiful souls, the kind of people that just make life worth living. Don't be surprised when they start to walk into your life. Declare that you're engineered for greatness. You're created to conquer and to succeed. And, before I close, I want you to remember that everything has a gestation period. Everything. It takes time. So don't expect your life to go from shit to sugar overnight. It takes time. But you will get there. You're already there vibrationally on another level. The minute you said you were there. But it takes, just like the minute a sperm cell connects with the egg, that moment of conception, pregnancy is there. But you don't see a baby. You don't see a live 21-year-old, but they're already created. But the gestation period, Everything has a gestation period, a time period that must pass before things will come into form. If you plant a carrot seed, it takes about 7 weeks for the sprout to make its above dirt entrance. A bamboo, which can grow up to 13 feet in as little as 1 week, but it takes up to 7 years to break through the surface of the ground. So for 7 long years, it looks like absolutely nothing's happening. Gestation period. Keep putting in the work. You trying to get this weight off of you, you got to get in that weight room, you got to get out in the yard, ass to grass, do some lunges, some sprints. We're all working on something that we want to make better about ourselves, either physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, psychologically, whatever it is, we have to put in the work. Yes, metaphysically, once you state it, yes, according to the laws of attraction, you start bringing people and situations and circumstances into your life by what you visualize and what you speak and believe. If you can speak it and conceive it and believe it, yes, you're going to receive it and all that wonderful positive self-help. But at the same time, you have to put in the work, and you have to read the books that are going to change the thoughts that you think, and you have to start changing the words that you speak, and you have to change the people who you are surrounded by. And if you can't change those people who you are surrounded by, change those people who you are surrounded by. Meaning this: if you can't change your family, you can't change your wife or your husband or your children, you can't trade out your mom or your dad or what have you. Okay, so change them, influence them, impact them. Put them up on our reading list. Put them up on what we're reading. Suggest to them that they make some affirmations. Say, hey, let's make a vision board together. Let's have a vision board party. Have vision board parties where you get together, for those of you who drink cocktails or whatever you do, and create vision boards together and talk about your affirmations and talk about your dreams and your goals and aspirations. And that brings me to another point. One of your fellow mentees is helping me out with staying connected and to bring you guys together and to do more things together as a group, to connect, to stay in touch, to be accountable for one another. So be on the lookout for her email, where she's going to have a weekly weigh-in, but we're all going to contribute to it, and we're going to all go to new levels and new heights. But everything has a gestation period. Be patient. You're getting there. You're already rich. You're already wealthy. You're already healthy. You're already fabulous. You're already a CEO. You're already a CFO. You're already healed completely. You already have a beautiful family. You already have a major empire that will change this world as we know it, but it just takes time. Even those of you who have your small businesses off the ground and you work in your business plan, how do you think Steve Jobs started, and Bill Gates and Ellison of Oracle and Zuckerberg? Everybody started off small. They started off either in their garage or their bedroom. It took time, but look at them now. And I can use that. I can use that example for any aspect of your life. It's going to take some time, but you have to start somewhere. And you know, I want you to start to believe in yourself more, because I know, because we can't connect often, there will be weeks and days that will go by, and some of you will start doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. And declare and decree who you are, affirm it and believe it, sleep on it, walk in it, receive it, be it, breathe it. Take authority of your life and have confidence. You don't need a guru. You don't need a teacher. You don't even need me. You have everything you need, because you're already that which you're seeking. You're already that. And everything that you are attracted to, everything that you have your heart's desire set on, guess what? It already belongs to you. That's why you're drawn to it. That's what this life is about. The heroic journey, your heroic mission is to draw you closer to your desires because they're already yours on another level. And the funny thing is, once you get them, it's not going to be what you thought it was. Just like success doesn't look like success.
Woke up this morning, you got yourself